The courtroom was packed. Reporters lined the back rows, cameras flashing, as one of the most highly anticipated legal cases of the year was about to begin. At the center of it all, Elon Musk. The billionaire entrepreneur walked in, dressed in a simple suit, his face unreadable. He had faced opposition before, critics, doubters, even government officials. But today, his opponent wasn't a competitor or a politician. It was the judge herself. The moment he sat down, she smirked. Leaning forward, she tapped her gavel and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Oh, so the genius has arrived." The room erupted in muffled laughter. The judge chuckled, clearly enjoying the moment. Elon didn't react. He simply watched. Because what the judge didn't know, by the time this hearing was over, it wouldn't be Musk who was embarrassed. It would be her. The tension in the courtroom was thick. Lawyers whispered, reporters jotted notes, and the cameras zoomed in, eager to capture every second. Elon Musk sat calmly at the defendant's table, his expression unreadable. But across from him, the judge leaned back in her chair, her smirk widening. "Mr. Musk," she said, tapping her pen against the desk, "I assume you're not planning to treat my courtroom like one of your Twitter debates?" Laughter rippled through the room. The judge tilted her head, eyes gleaming with amusement. "You might think you're the smartest person in the room," she continued, "but let me remind you, you're not in charge here." Musk didn't flinch. He didn't even blink. Instead, he sat back, hands folded, and simply listened. What no one in that courtroom realized, Musk wasn't here to argue. He wasn't here to win the battle with words. Because when Elon Musk fights, he fights with facts. And very soon, the judge would regret underestimating him. Instead of reacting, Musk remained silent. He calmly reached into his briefcase, pulled out a thick folder, and slid it across the table toward his attorney. The judge raised an eyebrow, clearly amused. "What's this? Another one of your so-called innovations?" she sneered. More chuckles from the audience. Musk's attorney stood up, adjusting his tie. "Your Honor," he said, his voice steady, "we'd like to submit this document into the official court record." The judge sighed dramatically, flipping open the file. "Oh, great, now he's giving me homework." More laughter. But the moment her eyes landed on the first page, her expression changed. The smirk vanished. Her grip on the gavel tightened. Inside the file, a detailed federal complaint against her. Shocking evidence of judicial misconduct, records of biased rulings, financial connections to rival corporations, and even emails that questioned her impartiality. The judge's face turned pale. "What is this?" she stammered, flipping through the pages faster now. Musk finally spoke. His voice was calm, deliberate. "A legal motion to challenge your impartiality, Your Honor, based on your history of questionable rulings and recent financial disclosures." The room fell into dead silence. Reporters froze mid-type, cameras zoomed in, and even the courtroom officers shifted uncomfortably. The judge had walked into court thinking she was in control. Now she was the one being judged. The judge's fingers tightened around her gavel. She flipped through the pages faster, her face shifting from arrogance to pure panic. This is irrelevant," she snapped, her voice cracking slightly. Musk remained calm, his hands clasped together. "Actually, it's very relevant, Your Honor. A judge must be impartial, and based on these documents, you are far from it." Murmurs filled the courtroom. The tension was unbearable. Suddenly, the double doors swung open. 2 federal agents stepped inside. The lead agent held up a document. "Judge Reynolds, we need to speak with you immediately regarding an ongoing ethics investigation." Gasps echoed through the room. Reporters scrambled for their phones, live tweeting the moment. The judge's face drained of color. Her confidence shattered. She gripped the desk, her hands shaking. "This is outrageous," she blurted out. "I am the judge here." The agent remained unfazed. "Not anymore." He handed her a subpoena, a court order demanding her financial records. For the first time that day, she was speechless. Musk said nothing. He didn't gloat, didn't smirk. He simply watched as the woman who had mocked him crumbled under the weight of the truth. She thought she could humiliate him, but in the end, she had humiliated herself. The courtroom was frozen in shock. No one moved. No one spoke. The judge, once so smug and confident, now sat stiff in her chair, gripping the desk like it was the only thing keeping her upright. The lead federal agent stepped closer. Judge Reynolds, you are officially under investigation for judicial misconduct and financial corruption. We advise you to cooperate. Reporters scrambled to capture the moment, their fingers flying across keyboards. Headlines were already being written. Judge who mocked Elon Musk now under federal investigation. Humiliation in court. Musk exposes. Corrupt judge in front of live audience. The judge tried to compose herself, but the damage was done. She was no longer in control. Musk's attorney stood, gathering the documents. Given these developments, we request an immediate dismissal of this case, he said. The judge didn't argue. She barely lifted her eyes. Motion granted, she muttered, her voice hollow. Just like that, the case was over. Musk stood, adjusted his suit, and turned to leave. He hadn't needed to yell, to argue, to fight. He had let the facts do the talking. And in the end, the judge, the one who had mocked him, was the one who had been truly judged. The news spread like wildfire. Within hours, every major media outlet was reporting on it. Elon Musk outsmarts corrupt judge on live TV. Judge who mocked Musk faces ethics investigation. Legal experts debated the case on live television. Some called it the most embarrassing moment in courtroom history. Others praised Musk for exposing corruption in the justice system. But Musk? He stayed silent. There were no victory speeches, no social media rants. When a reporter caught up with him outside the courthouse, shoving a microphone in his face, he simply said, "Justice isn't about power, it's about truth." Meanwhile, Judge Reynolds' career was in ruins. As investigations deepened, more questionable rulings surfaced. Within weeks, she was forced to resign. Musk had walked into that courtroom as a defendant, but by the time he walked out, he had changed everything. This wasn't just about Elon Musk. It was about standing up to abuse of power, because sometimes the loudest voices in the room aren't the strongest. And arrogance, it never stands a chance against the truth. This wasn't just a courtroom battle, it was a lesson. The judge thought her power made her untouchable. She thought mocking Musk would make her look strong. But real strength doesn't come from arrogance. Musk didn't argue. He didn't lash out. He let the facts do the talking. And in the end, the woman who judged him was the one being judged. So here's the question. How many more people like her exist? How many people in power think they can mock, silence, and control others simply because they wear a robe or hold a title? And more importantly, who will stand up to them next? Because at the end of the day, titles don't make you powerful. Money doesn't make you untouchable. Only one thing truly wins in the end: the truth.